Health crisis has raised a number of legal questions many of you are wondering about. Joining me now is attorney Ryan McGuigan. He is a former prosecutor and currently a defense attorney, frequent guest on Face Estate. Ryan, good to see you here.
Good to see you, Dennis.
First, let's talk about the National Guard stopping cars in Rhode Island. What do you think of that from a legal perspective?
From a legal perspective, any single governor trying to block the movements of citizens from another state is precluded by the 14th Amendment. So they're not allowed to do that, and that will be put to an end. The only person who can do that would be the office of the President of the United States. So each governor can't preclude people from the other state moving through their state. They can't do that. They have no authority to do that whatsoever. Only the president would have the authority to do that. And so far, we have not had any executive orders about movement in between states.
What about President Trump saying he might quarantine states? He did back off that a little bit, but constitutionally, does he have any ground to stand on?
He does. And it's a very complicated question. You could take 5 minutes or 5 days to explain this. But essentially, the President of the United States, in a non-criminal context, because we're not arresting people's movements because we're saying that they're bad people, and therefore we have to show cause for a court to show a judge that, yes, indeed, they are. This has nothing to do with punishing people. This has everything to do with saving people's lives. This is a public safety aspect of our government. It's not a criminal enforcement aspect of the government. So because they're not performing law enforcement, it's not the same kind of analysis. The analysis here is whether or not they have good reasons to be restricting your movements. And those reasons, if they are for your own safety, you really have no redress in court because you haven't been damaged. All they're doing is they're trying to save your life. They're not trying to take away your liberties. Which
kind of leads me to my next question, Ryan, and that is, like, some cities have shut down parks. If you go to a park and you're arrested by police, what kind of rights do you have, if any?
Well, the state can restrict the movements of the citizens of the state. So the governor of the state of Connecticut can, for public safety reasons, be telling people that within our state, this is what you can and can't do. That's perfectly fine. But the state of Connecticut, so Governor Lamont can't tell the people of Rhode Island, you can't use our parks. You see, that would be unlawful. That would be unconstitutional. But within the state, for public safety reasons, your governor would be able to restrict your movements within the state. The president can restrict your movements within the country itself.
What about a merchant who wants to open? He's been told he's non-essential, but he says he sells essential items. What are his rights?
In that particular situation, he would have to deal with the government itself and say, I am, and try to appeal. But at this time right now, there's not a lot of time for people appealing things. And so if in a situation like that, I would probably say that he or she would be precluded from doing so, just because we don't have a lot of time to be dealing with individual issues on a singular basis. We have 350 million people we're worried about, not one particular person.
Ryan McGuigan joining us from his home office tonight. We appreciate it. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks.